So, welcome to today's meditation time. I am, as always, honored that you choose to show up with me and that you choose to bring yourself to the present moment as I am bringing myself to this incredible present moment. So I would invite you just to settle in wherever you are. You can lie down, you can sit up tall. Just make sure the body is comfortable. Not to the point that we would fall asleep, but just comfortable so that the body doesn't become a distraction. We know the mind is going to try to distract us enough, so we don't want the body to be an extra factor in that. So let's just settle in, and then from wherever you are, whatever spot you found your place in, just gently close your eyes. We're going to settle in with a few slow breaths together. So I would invite you to start with breathing in through your nose and breathing out through your mouth. And just see what a difference it makes after just a few breaths. Let's take a long, slow, deep breath in through the nose. And a full exhale out through the mouth. A long, slow breath in through the nose. And a complete breath out through the mouth. One more like that. Take a deep breath in. And let it go. And then you're welcome to seal your lips and breathe in and out through the nose, or you can keep that pattern going that you're already in now, whatever feels right. But just stay connected to the breath across these minutes that we have. And so as you continue just there with your eyes closed, your breath steady, I want us to focus our attention tonight on our attention. And just for a second, just reflect back on this day. We've come to the end of a day, so just reflect on this day and ask yourself, how many times was I able to keep my attention really focused? And how many times did it get diverted? Did someone pull it away? Did some circumstance draw me away? Did some thought take me down a path? So just think for a second. If you had to give yourself percentages, what percentage of my day was I clear and focused with really good attention? What percentage was I really distracted? You know, where our attention goes, our energy follows. Our effort follows. Our balance follows, or in our inability to balance. Attention is this incredible tool, and y'all all know that when it's focused and it's spot on, we thrive. We feel like we could accomplish anything. But we also know that when our attention gets diverted and pulled away to places that we didn't intend for it to go, it's such an act, such an effort to bring it back. Except really and truly, we have the tools within us to make the effort quite a bit less. And that's what we're going to do tonight. I want to teach you about this concept called the pattern interrupt. Just like when you're, for example, at your office and you're just typing away and you're working on a project and someone comes in and distracts you with a personal story or a need for something right now, this urgency, or a sound on your phone goes off and you feel like you need to check it. As easy as it was for that thing to interrupt you, it's just as easy for you to come back. And we call that in our meditation practice a pattern interrupt, meaning the pattern for that second or those minutes is distraction, is a lack of focus. And we can interrupt that pattern just as quickly as that pattern interrupted us. So how do we do it? How do we do it when someone's in our office and they're talking and they're distracting? Or how do we do it when that phone just constantly buzzes and draws us away? Or how do we do it when our own thoughts become the distraction? And the very cool thing is that the answer is something we always have with us. You don't have to worry that you've left it at home, or you don't have to worry that you're not with a yoga instructor, or you don't have to worry that you're missing out on something. You have the tool with you all the time, and it's your breath. So as you just sit there and just continue to breathe with your eyes closed, we're going to practice using the breath as the interruption to the distraction, to bring our attention back to where we want it to be, back to where we need it to be. And so in order to do that, I would like for each of you, and I'll do it myself as well, think of one thing today that kind of frustrated you. It could be something as inconsequential as traffic delays, and something as big as a fight with your spouse, or an argument at work, or anything in between, but just something today that frustrated you or caused you disappointment or a little bit of heartache. So just recall that thing into your mind, not a list of things, just one. And as you begin just to kind of remember the situation around it, I want us to practice interrupting whatever that thing did to us. It caused us, if it was traffic, to grip the steering wheel more, to grit our teeth, to maybe say things that weren't kind. If it was an argument with someone important to us, maybe it caused us to say things we wish we hadn't said, or to walk away when we shouldn't have walked away, or whatever the thing was. Because y'all, what happens is we get frustrated or we get disappointed. And then sadly, in that emotion, often we respond with the frustration, with the disappointment. But what if we responded with the breath? This incredible tool that is ours all the time. And so what we're going to do is we're going to practice something called the 16-second meditation. We're going to inhale, and we're going to try to breathe in nice and slowly for about 4 seconds. I'm going to count us. And then we're going to hold that inhale for about 4 seconds. And then I want you to exhale it just as slowly for about 4 seconds. And before you start to breathe in again, we're going to pause and stop, and I'm going to count you through this. And I want you just to see what reaction that has on you physiologically and emotionally and mentally. So again, recall the thing that frustrated you today, or caused you pain or heartache. And then I want you just to sit a little taller. If you're lying down, just lie down a little more straight wherever you are. And first, take a natural breath in and a natural breath out. And here we go. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. And then breathe naturally. And just notice. Just notice. And think to yourself, what if the next time something comes across my path, because I promise you it will, and it attempts to distract my attention and pull me away from whatever I'm focusing on? What if I just take 16 seconds for a pattern interrupt to stop the distraction? Now, it doesn't mean that you won't respond in the moment. It doesn't mean that you won't have a conversation with someone that's interrupting you. But it means you're going to do it with clarity of mind. Because without getting into all of the things about our neurological system, you have something inside of you called your vagus nerve. And it is this wandering nerve that goes all throughout your body. And someday maybe we'll talk about all the different parts of it, but the main thing to know is that when you stop and breathe for 16 seconds, in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, pause for 4, you tell your vagus nerve that it's okay to calm, to settle, to be still. Because if you don't, your sympathetic nervous system will take over and you will fight, or you will flight, or you will freeze. And that's not how we're intended to live. So I want us to practice just one more time. And then we're going to grow quiet. And I want you just to see what happens to you mentally and emotionally and physiologically. So I'm going to ask you to recall another thing that caused you frustration over the last couple days. Just think. A different thing that caused you a little bit of pain or a little bit of suffering. And then let's just take a deep breath in together and let it go. And then here we go together. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. And just breathe. And just continue just to notice. Oftentimes when I do that, I'm sure you can hear my voice. It brings this emotion of almost being sorry because I forgot the power of my breath. And I get to that point of holding it for those few seconds and I remember what an anchor it is. And then there's always regret about how I reacted or how I responded in that moment. And I thought, why didn't I just breathe for 16 seconds? But rather than feeling regret, let's look at it as hope and promise. Because someone's going to frustrate us again. And there's going to be something that comes across our day that is difficult and distracting. But in 16 seconds, we can reset and choose to respond or react differently. And like I said in the beginning, wherever our attention goes, that's where our energy follows. And so what if your attention came to your breath? And then all the energy in you came there as well. So let's just sit for these next couple of minutes, remaining as still and quiet as you can, and just see what arises in your thoughts and what do you notice in your body. Just let the sound bring you back to the space that we're sharing together. And remind yourself, where my attention goes, my energy follows. And sometimes it goes to wonderful, amazing places, and sometimes it goes to places that we didn't intend to go. And sometimes we get there and it's like we feel like we're stuck and we can't turn our thoughts backward. But hopefully this practice will remind you that in just one very intentional round of breath, 16 seconds, your attention can come back to your breathing, and then your energy will follow. And then you can decide where to go from there. You don't have to worry that you've forgotten your tool at home, or you've left it in the car, or it's in the book that you don't have with you. It is within you all the time. And it is the gift of your breath. Namaste.